Hi, star-powered friends. I'm tuning in to the new moon in Aquarius. My name is Alejandra Sofia, and I'm a soul level astrologer and excited about what's happening today. So I'm tuning in from the actual moment of the new moon, and it is a powerful new moon. I've been tuning in for the last 48 hours, and this morning it just really came into the clear of what's happening. What this new moon is the second new moon after the winter solstice on December 21st. December 21st, this new natural year cycle, solar cycle that began on December 21st has ushered us into a new earth. A new earth that's been being visioned for a long time, that had an awakening and a major activation in the 1960s. The ways in which in the last few years from 2012 to 2015, when we had the Uranus-Pluto squares, so the 60s had the Pluto Uranus conjunction, and then we just had the Pluto Uranus square from that conjunction. Meaning it's the first square after that conjunction. So we've been making some powerful changes the last 8 years, really, and in fact, I offer for everyone who's watching this to look back to May of 2009. There was a major activation at that time, and there were three planetary alignments, three planets that aligned, three celestial bodies that aligned at the same degree, and that degree was 27 Aquarius, and that happened May and June, and the most powerfully. And so what I recommend is to look back at that time of your life to see where your change was being, the future, the change agent in you began to wake you up to shift your life on new levels. And it's personal. Where that change was happening in everyone's life is personal, but something happened. And I need to go back that far to get to what's happening now. Because we're crossing over a threshold. We're crossing over a very powerful threshold, and this bridge that's happening is a 7-month bridge from October 2018 until April 2019. And that bridge is powerfully being revealed to me as I'm seeing it in the astrology of the times that we're living in, these changing, powerful, activating times. With a few things that are happening that are extremely important. And there are two planets that Uranus and Chiron, who in my system of astrology that I am powerfully initiated through every day, is and it's an Atlantean astrology, Atlantis, and Atlantean astrology that sorry, I went somewhere else. I was searching for where I was. So Chiron is named Alpha Omega, is deemed Alpha Omega, is awakened to Alpha Omega. It's more than just a wounded healer. But yeah, I mean, yeah, wounded healer. I can super psycho splunk that as well. Like the wounds, the wounds, the holes that are created in our energy body that need to be healed. So absolutely, but the Alpha and the Omega piece of it is the beginning and the end, origins and destinations. It's coming back into wholeness with yourself. So there's a very powerful siren being sounded. And a very powerful siren. Do you hear that siren? Do you hear that siren? That alert, that urgency that's happening right now. And wow, I don't even want to go any further with that and just let you feel that one out for yourself and write it out, feel it out. That siren of your soul, and it's being blown by the call of the earth. the call of the deep in the heart of Earth, and what's happening at the core of Earth, and what's happening on the surface of Earth, and this surface of Earth, and what's unfolding, these events that are unfolding through our beings. So in these times of change and this new moon that we're upon, okay, I'm a Sagittarius rising. I just start to go off in a lot of different directions, all upon the same theme of awakening. But so Chiron, there's this bridge that we're crossing right now. Chiron and Uranus have been doing a super powerful psychic surgery dance between the 29th degree frequency and the 3rd degree frequency since 2018. And Chiron is the rainbow bridge. Uranus is the the awakened one, right? The awakened one. So in the time of awakening, though, to be awakened, we have to tower. So this is the core of our being. Blow open the structures that have been unconsciously imprinted upon us. Any false power and authority that we've been unconsciously giving ourselves to, and you know, definitely with degrees of awareness of, you know, of how we've been giving up our power, but this super powering up of our inner beings, our fire, our lions and lionesses, that core Leonian life stream that pours through each one of us, that is the central stream threading all the other, weaving all the other streams together. And I'm speaking of a multidimensionality that we all embody. This awakening that's happening right now, this bridge that we're crossing, really coming in this month, this lunar cycle. So that was the first part of this bridge that we're truly crossing. Earth spaceship, starship, mothership is crossing, and her children are awakening in various degrees of awakening, and others staying massively asleep. So I'm really speaking to who I'm speaking to are you, the ones who are awakening, and that means your hearts are awakening, your soul is awakening, your spirit, your calling, all that inside of you, and the other aspect that's really so visibly powerful is the new moon. We're the new moons since October. October began a series of 7 new moons from October 2018 until April 2019 that are occurring at the 16th degree frequency of the sign the new moon is occurring in. So October, the Libran new moon, and I say Libra, it gives the power back to Libra. It puts the power back into Libra, and Libra needs Libra needs to be empowered, and Libra is the utterance that it really truly empowers that sign journey, and to get us out of the conditioning of giving our power away to others, because it's the main sign. There's 2 signs that are very much where we get conditioned, and it's Libra, and the sign Cancer. So October was the Libra new moon, November was the Scorpion new moon, December was the Sagittarian new moon, and those were all at the 16th degree frequency. And then the Capricornian new moon was an eclipse. So right in the middle of this seven sequence of 16 degree frequency new moons, and the key word with that particular frequency, the essence of that is adaptation, adjustments. Just leave it there. Making adjustments, so change, another word. And so now we're releasing the Capricornian eclipse and ending things. And so where are we ending? We're ending old power structures that we've been living by, old models of reality that we've been living by, and making the adjustments and changes that we need to make. So go back and look at October, just psychoanalyze it and go, there's something that you began in October, something that you started. I can think of 2 things that I started in October, and one of them was my YouTube channel, my Star Power Alchemy YouTube channel. So the change is personal, right? But it's where you're needing to rise up inside of yourself. That's the key thing, where you need to rise up inside of yourself, because it's about empowerment. That's the key issue here, empowerment. Because there's one thing that wants to happen, and it wants to powerfully happen, and it wants to happen through you. You are a thunderous, monolithic being of such incredible power, and life wants to wake up inside of you. And that brings that absolutely just sends waves of emotion through me, because it's true for me, it's true for you, and it's true for anyone who wants to wake up to this reality that we're living in. So here we are at the Aquarian now, Aquarian new moon that's happening right now, unfolding as I'm tapping in and filming. And Aquarius is the change maker. So everything you've been going through this last month with it has to do with structure, it has to do with power and authority, and where you haven't been living in your power and authority, and it's just a new time. You're arriving to a new time, and things need to be restructuring. So that would be a key new moon, the new moon in Capricorn that happened in January 5th. But then the full moon in Leo is like with super beaming 1 degree Leo, and it's about you and what you want and your desires and your primal beingness. So now we're moving into today's new moon in Aquarius is moving into making the changes that you're needing to make for yourself. But it's on a whole, it's really multidimensional. It's like opening up to coming into being a universal agent of change. So it's a revolution. You're in a revolution right now. And if you're not in a revolution, my God, then it's time to revolt. It's time to revolt against those demons of self-doubt inside of you that are disempowering you, and stop being a victim of your reality. And that these are words that of where we're backing away from ourselves, and where we're not meeting the resistance that is calling us to change. So it's time to turn towards that resistance to change, to turn towards those needs to stay in comfort zones that are actually that's actually fear protecting you. And fear doesn't protect you. It's actually harmful to you, because then you don't live your fullest life. We are meant to rise up. And that's the energy of this new moon in Aquarius, because of the polarity. In order for the opposite sign of Aquarius is Leo. So these are Leo and Aquarius are the rising up signs. You need yourself to join the world. And if you don't have yourself, then you're lost in the world. And then you're a follower and not a leader. And inside of our human blueprint is leadership. So you need to lead your life. You need to lead your life. You need to lead your life. And when I say you, I say me. Me too, okay? This is just as real for me as I am sharing the knowledge that I'm aware of through this amazing chart that I'm looking at. As I reach for my chart. So this new moon in Aquarius, what's incredible about it is that there are a total of five planets. I work with 16 planetary energies, celestial energies, and one of them is terrestrial. It's Earth itself. So, but there's 16 planetary bodies, and 5 of those planetary bodies, and I'm also including 4 asteroids and the comet Chiron, so that's included in the 16. So comet, planetoid, Chiron, Alpha Omega. This new moon, 1:04 p.m., February 4th, 2019, 1:04 p.m. Pacific time, has 5 planets at the 16th degree frequency. This is This is the new moon that we're really caught by. The next new moon, March 6th, 2019, and that's the Pisces new moon. Things have really changed. So, and it's going to be different for everyone, of course, because it's personal, and everyone has their own blueprint. Everyone has their own course that they're correcting for themselves. And what are you correcting for yourself? You're getting in power with yourself. You're getting deeply in contact with yourself. And this new moon there is a focus, a very powerful focus with this full moon chart. There's two crossbow aspects. Crossbows. Yes, I am talking about crossbows, okay? Boom, a target, boom. A crossbow. So there's two targets. There's two areas being targeted, but it's a very specific area. It's your lifeblood. It's your soul blood. It's the Leo inside of every one of us, inside of you, that wants to live and breathe that you're a player on planet Earth, and Earth needs you to play. So listen really closely, because of the degree of where Chiron is at this time, Alpha Omega. It's at the 30th degree of Pisces, and it's getting ready to leave Pisces. It's getting ready to say, bye-bye, Pisces. I've done all this amazing healing, and it's not to say that there's not more healing to do, but it's on a whole new level. The healing we've been doing is going deeply into our emotionality, releasing and going into our past, releasing the patterns, going and feeling them, tuning into them. When Chiron goes into Aries fully, this February 17th, it's about standing up, rising up, activating, saying what needs to be said, doing what needs, it's coming out into the world. So that's the key thing about this new moon. You're a player. And if you're not playing, that's what time it is. If you're not playing, then you know what you're playing? You're playing disempowerment. You're playing possum. And that's what planet Earth, Mama Earth, really, Gaia Sophia is calling to you. That 30th degree frequency of Pisces that we have until February 17th. I'm going to go into this a little bit more in my weekly, attunement into the next 7 days. But the moon in Pisces this week, I offer up that there's a possibility, a really strong possibility of getting to the roots of yourself and having a really powerful reunion with yourself, with your own heart. It absolutely can show up in your family circle of a reunion of hearts and souls, you know, speaking true feelings, being heard in ways you haven't been heard, speaking your soul in ways you haven't been speaking them, and circling up with your own heart, and then circling up with your family, friends, whatever it is for you. The moon in Pisces is going to make a conjunction to Chiron in Pisces on, I think it's Friday, and it's the last time the moon meets Chiron in Pisces. It's the last time, because Chiron's going bye-bye into Aries. It's moving forward. We're advancing. We are advancing this month. And so the two areas that are being highlighted are through these crossbow aspects, very powerful crossbow. That means there's a target. There's two targets, but the key target is your heart. It's your primal soul, the lioness inside of you. The lion, the lioness, this is Leo, and Leo is a lion and a lioness. And Leo has you have your pride, and you have your mate, you know, and whatever that is for you, your mate. We all have that in our blueprint, and we have our pride. Our pride is everything we love. It's everything we're here to create and procreate, whether you're actually having birthing living children. But you know what? I actually, you know, the physical human children, so there's that aspect of it. But then there's birthing. These are just as real as the physical children you birth, human children you birth into the planet. And how you have to caretake them and care for them and care for the very core of their being and preside over, you know, become spiritual guardians of their souls, you know, and that kind of level of parenting. Your creative acts, whatever that is for you, that's what's calling you. You're being called to your sensuality. You're being called deeply to that primal pulse of your being, of like, I'm a sexual being, and I need to have sex with life. I mean on that level, yes, there is the actual intercourse with another human being, and then there's the intercourse of life with your existence with existence, with the fusion of your soul and your spirit and everything that you're desirous of on, you know, on these deep soulful levels to bring into creation. So the things you're not doing for yourself that your soul has a crying need for are very real, and they're pumping through you, so that they're pulsating powerfully because of this crossbow aspect that has a focus on the earth, a very powerful focus on the Leo energy. So you have to rise up inside of you and be an agent of change and transformation. There is no other way to do it. You have to rise up, because it's time to be a team player with Gaia Sophia, and you're going to join other people in the revolution that are here to bring all the beautiful qualities that are possible for human beings, all activating inside of our hearts. And we're going to be rising up against a current of opposition of people who aren't waking up, and we know that. We see that happening, the dark current, the demons that are really showing up powerfully, and we have to be honest with ourselves. It's about getting out of blame programs, victim programs, getting out of the triangle of disempowerment and coming into self-leadership, self-empowerment, and rising up in your own self-courage to go do the things that you need to do. And I'm definitely talking about me too. The light is on, the beam of that watchful eye inside of me, that's inside of you and every one of us, because that's part of our blueprint of what you need to do for yourself. And that's what time it is to start listening to the inner executive calling the shots, saying do this, do that, do this. So that means take time to, you do have to do meditations, just taking pauses and listening to yourself and allowing the visions that are unfolding inside of your own heart and your own DNA and your own blueprint to really come into focus. And so that's another aspect to this new moon. I could keep going, and I would like to say one more thing about it before I go. I could keep going about, on and on about this, because it's so amazing. There is the other crossbow has to do with the sword. The crossbow aspect is, how do you get to the heart of you? You're going to have to use the sword of truth, and it's going to help you authenticate yourself in your relationships. And so you're coming into the clear, so you got to use that sword of truth, that undeniable sword of truth in your own heart, to pierce the veil of the delusion and distortion. That means fear that you've been living by, and getting real honest with yourself and rising up. So again, it's the Leo and Aquarian sign journeys are the rising up sign journeys, that you have to rise up to be a team player with Gaia Sophia, because Gaia Sophia needs you. And hear the call of the earth. It's happening everywhere. And the causes that you want to, the things that you want to get involved with, the things that you want to do, the ideas that are coming in, the places that you want to go to, getting out of comfort zones and moving in, adventure, because Jupiter in Sagittarius is sextiling this new moon. Adventure, explore, discover, try things, the things you're going out into new places for the first time. Life is an adventure and celebrational as well. And because of the strong aspect of Neptune in here, music, dance, play, gather together. You're coming into the gathering in a whole new way. You're showing up with your gifts and talents. You're leaning into the things you love. Maybe you haven't been singing and you want to sing, and you've been saying, no, I can't do that because I'm not a singer. It's dropping. The thing with Leo is it's a fire sign, and Leo wants to play. And so it is about a primal body. I'm gonna go. It's a primal body, getting into your body, your carnal body, your sensual body, and getting out of the intellect. If you're spending too much time in your intellect and you're not enjoying yourself. So Leo has to do with pleasure. Absolutely. You have to up-level your pleasure in ways that are sustaining and enriching, and you're gaining ground. And that's what's happening this month. your life, you're gaining ground with your life. So being open to renegotiating with relationships and partnerships, and so that, because that's what's part of the you know, the sword of truth is like, oh, I've been over negotiating this, I've been giving this energy away, and now I can't negotiate that anymore. So that's part of you getting really clear with yourself about what you want, what you need, and standing up and rising up to that. And listening powerfully to your relationships, because you're going to receive that also from your relationships. So you need to be open to other people's truth as well. And then know, is that a yes or is that a no? Can I say yes to that? So contracts, agreements, change. It's and renegotiating, but it's renegotiating from self-leadership and your need for change. So there we go, friends and family, soul family. I wish you much love. And one more thing, if you would like me to take a super psycho splunking soul private eye into your chart to look at this very specific areas that this new moon is highlighting, because there's very key areas wherever these crossbow aspects are happening in your chart. Those are the areas. So I'm offering a special right now for your children. If you'd like to get to know your children better, $110 for an hour. It's a great deal. You're going to get a recording, and you'll get to know your children. You'll get to know what they, who they are, and how to help them, how to serve them, how to be in support of them. $110 for 60 minutes, and then for you, that's the kid special for the parents, and then for all the adults, I'm offering my 60-minute 60-minute for $140. So starpoweralchemy@gmail.com. My name is Alejandra Sofia. Thanks for tuning in, and get ready, set, go.